Hello, I'm Pat Connor with Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves. Today, training goes hand in hand with New Year's resolution. But the challenge is that training is so confused. Training humans is easy. So let's take it from the professionals, the best, the advertisers. Training humans to them is so easy. The story might go something like this. They're sitting there smiling, thinking about what they've got to train you to do and get this product sold, to get a product sold or moved or something like that. They're sitting there, they're just smiling away, going, training humans is so easy. So it goes something like this. You know how it works. They get these pictures of these, great models or whatever doing things and acting as though as if they just love what they're doing. And it's like you get this and you start seeing in your mind, oh, they're just loving what they're doing. Oh, this is so great. Then you actually start, well, what if it happened for me? And you say, oh man, and then you start seeing yourself doing these things and getting these feelings and stuff like that. And then you start to think, well, maybe I can actually do this. And you think, well, I'll try it and play around with it. So you go out and check it out at the store or wherever you play around with it, okay, and then you try it. Now this is one of the best parts, and I'm going to come back to this later, is that when you try it on, it doesn't work. It's horrible, but you keep working on it and working on it and working until it finally works for you. Okay, or at least you feel that it's working for you. So let's give you an example. I mean, the best example probably is from cigarettes. I mean, first of all, you got to get this, that these advertisers are so good. I mean, they take on things you do not like, that your body does not like. So the cigarette, first of all, is that when it burns your lungs, your body says this is not good for me. It's burning your lungs. It's not yuck like that. It has a wretched smell. Okay, and you're going no, this is good for you. And you see these wonderful pictures, sexy, walking good, thinking, relaxing, or whatever the pictures are that happen to be in the cigarette commercial. Now I realize nowadays that there's a lot of other anti-smoking commercials. So this is when they first initiated smoking, and it became such a problem. So these commercials, they took on this horrendous thing and got people to love to smoke. And when they first did it, when they first smoked, they choked, they gagged, and they went, man, this stuff stinks. But they had these pictures in their mind, and they totally ignored the choking, the horrible feeling, the smell, that it doesn't working for them. And they kept working into it until they got themselves focused and feeling relaxed with the cigarette, sexy with the cigarette, and got themselves feeling all these different ways that the commercials told them they were supposed to feel when they smoked these cigarettes. So you've got to get this, is that you were trained to do that. That is a training. Okay, so let's really look at this, is that you are trained by people outside you. It starts with your parents. Your parents train you. This is what you're supposed to think. This is how you're supposed to feel, and things like that. And you start to establish these as solid ground. Your culture starts to do it. Your society starts to do it. And of course, advertisers pick right on up and try to guide it in a way that moves a product. So mainly you are trained by others. And that's sort of how you were designed. You have actually mirror neurons to go, oh, how are they doing it? I should do it the same way, and mirror, etc. So your biology even supports it. But if you are going to train yourself, you have to learn to train yourself to create this first step. Let's get the 5 steps of training here real quick. So the first one is knowledge. We all have heard about the dieter that reads 1 million books but still can't get himself to lose and maintain the weight. Okay, I mean, he has the knowledge, but he doesn't have the training. So step number 1, though, is you got to know what to do. And he knows what to do, because a lot of these dieters can lose the weight and get thin, but they then just can't hold on to it. They gain it all back and more. Okay, so knowing what to do is a good step, but it's only step 1. Step number 2 in training is those pictures that those advertisers use. You got to get those pictures of enjoying those steps. Right? You went running, you hated running, right? Okay, well, we're going to talk a little bit about how you go about converting those steps in the process to something you're going, wow, I really love. You're going to become a great advertiser for yourself, creating the things that you know. I mean, who said that that sit-ups are hard, or sit-ups aren't, you're not supposed to do, or sit-ups are what? I mean, who said they're not fun? Who said they're not exciting? I mean, a good advertiser could have you know, shall we say, doing those things, going, man, I'm so relaxed, I'm so, you know, but it's all about advertising, but you got to really feel it. So step number 2 is getting yourself, seeing yourself doing what you need to do and loving it. And loving it. Now, these are internal, not external. In other words, if you bribe yourself, okay, that's external, right? Money, okay, or being invited to a movie, or fitting in a dress. Those are all external. You have to be internally loving doing the sit-ups. Oh, this is great. Just like you eat chocolate chip ice cream, you go, or chocolate chip cookies, or whatever. You go, oh, these are so good. Oh, these sit-ups are so good. I mean, you got to get there. I mean, that's what advertisers do. They get there. I mean, you really got to get to that cigarette smoking. You really got. These are people who choke, and then all of a sudden they go, so good. And they're feeling relaxed, feeling sexy, feeling like they're cool, whatever it is, you know. The key is you control what you feel, and it's part of the advertising. And one of it is doing it with 1,000 different pictures, seeing it working. So step number 1 is seeing yourself doing it and really doing it. No, excuse, step number 1 is knowledge. Number 2 is getting those steps such that you see yourself loving doing those steps. Okay? Then after you get yourself loving, that's just in your mind now. Just in your mind. It doesn't even, you aren't doing them yet. Right? Okay? And the next thing you know is that and to give you just a real quick, well, we're going to forget that. We're going to come back to that. So the next step is playing around with it and then seeing that it doesn't work, but you keep working on it until you get it to work, because you ignore failure. I mean, failure doesn't even exist. Now, you really got to get this, is you're focused on it, and these people are, and they don't even notice. They're so focused on getting to the point of being sexy, feeling relaxed and stuff like that. They keep working on it until they get their body, your body, and their mind to feel that way. And it does. Pretty soon it does. And then they get hooked. Okay, they start getting it to work a little bit, then they practice a little bit, then it gets a little better, and then pretty soon, you know, they actually can all the time need it. Okay, and that's when you own it. Okay, that's when you are trained. Okay, so 5 steps: knowledge, getting the picture, seeing yourself, loving doing it, experimenting and playing around with, even though it doesn't work, ignoring all that doesn't work, and seeing yourself focusing on those pictures you create. Those pictures are so good that you are still working on getting even just a little bit. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Until you finally get it, then you start practicing it so it gets better and faster and faster. So you get there, and next thing you know, you are just there. Step number 5: you can go into the most, stressful situation or whatever it is, and still do it, because that's just what you do. Okay. All right. Now you have to set all that up, and we're going to talk more about all that later. Okay. But there's the 5 steps. Now, let me just pause just a second here real quick to see what I want to conclude here with. But you've got to get it that this is something you can do. Training a human is easy, but you got to go through the right steps. Now, this is what happens to so many people. They look at their New Year's resolution. Okay, you got your New Year's resolution in front of you, and the first picture in your mind, you think, oh, I don't like to run. It's so hard. I failed at this so many times. Da, 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 da. Now, this is the picture that was created by experience, by culture, by whatever it was. You've got these pictures in front of you. Okay? Right? You're not supposed to be smart. You're a girl. Who knows what the picture is, but you believe them, you feel them, they're real. And they feel so impossible to change. So let's just start with it a little bit here. See, the first thing is that creating a picture in your mind and just saying, oh, the fake it till you make it. No, you've got to feel it and really believe it until you actually feel that, hey, maybe I could do this, and start to play around with it, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is our goal. Okay, break it down into steps. Remember, movies. It takes a while to create a movie. Okay, so here we're going to create this little movie, right? Advertisers don't just go one little advertisement. No, they have hundreds of them, right? This one, sometimes the same one over and over again. But you see yourself being successful. See yourself, and for humans, if you see it enough times, it becomes true. Now, this is just a characteristic of humans. That's how come so many lies can become truths, and they can feel really, really, really true. Okay, so we're going to take advantage of that. We're going to create a picture of you actually feeling good about something, a little piece of whatever it is that you want to. Because remember, getting in shape, getting fit, there's going to be a whole many, not just steps of training here. It's just like you have to almost create your little, you want to think your own college or university to do this, but you don't have to do it all at once. You have to do, class by class, you take it on. Okay, but you've got to start, and then you take the class and break that class down. Okay, well, I've got to learn this, and I've got to learn this. Just like if you're going to run, you got to put your shoes on. See, putting your shoes on creates this feeling inside of you that you go, oh man, I can't do this. See, forget about all that. You can tie your shoes. Now the next thing is, can you tie your shoes and sort of say, hey, this is cool, dude. I can put on my running shoes, and get it so that you feel sort of like, I can do it. Okay, and then you want to attach it to. We're skipping 100 steps in the movie, but this is part of the movie. It's going to be put on your steps. Then I'm a runner and I'm in shape and fit. Look at me, how good I am. Just because you put on your shoes, you start connecting that. But you first got to internally just enjoy putting on your shoes. Feel the snugness is just right. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's right. I love this. I love putting on my tennis shoes, and you get that feeling. Step number one. Now, if you need a little help with all this, okay, you can read Alan Carr's book on The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. Okay, now he gets about 90% success apparently for the people that participate in this program or read his book. Okay, and he does it while they're smoking. Okay, so here are smokers, right, reading a book, and he takes them through 40 plus steps till finally they become non-smokers. And for them, to stop smoking was impossible. Okay, so he takes them just like tying your shoes, stepping out the front door, getting your first few steps or whatever. I mean, the whole thing, we have such huge trainings about how horrible those things are, and he takes these little steps and he makes the person feel like they're wonderful, and they were silly, stupid to think they weren't capable of doing something that they're actually amazing humans and can do this. And he does it because they trust him. They trust him because he was a 4-pack-a-day smoker. He says, I was a 4-pack-a-day smoker. I mean, what is it? I can't do one of these? And he said, and he goes to 40. And pretty soon after you've done 40, it's like with me with all my different projects I do. If you're a baker and you've baked 40 cakes, I mean, pretty soon you go, I can bake another cake. So now you start to get this feeling of, I can do this. See, after you do 40 cakes in your mind, you could do this, okay? But see, when you do them in reality or in your mind, it doesn't matter as long as you really felt it and really went through the process. Now, that's the thing that we really got to get you into here, is thinking that, yes, we're going to work on step number 2, which is really feeling these things. That's what Alan Carr really does in his book and his seminars, is get you really feeling you can do these 40 steps, okay? And they're doing them while they're smoking, so it's not a big deal. It's in their mind. It's not physically doing them. Okay, little girls, when they play dolls, taking care of babies, probably are better mothers than people who didn't play dolls and take care of babies when they were little, because I can do this. They saw their mama be successful, and when they were playing with their dolls, they were successful. I mean, there's so many things we do in our minds first. I mean, that's where projects are born. You think, how can I do this in my mind? You figure it out. Oh, I can do this. You get this. Once you get this feeling of, I can do it, that's the step when you're ready to take it on. So remember, step number 2 is going through it in your mind, putting your shoes on, doing this. So you put your shoes on, enough times in your mind until finally, I can do that and feel good about myself. Well, now you're ready to do it. Okay, I can put my shoes on and step out there and feel good about myself. Now you're ready, but you got to get it in your mind so that you can actually do that. And once you feel, I can do that, and not feel that horrible, oh, I can't do this type of stuff. You see, you don't have to run any place. You don't have to do it. You just got to start getting those steps in order. I mean, I'm a math teacher, and I used to say, if you could first do adding, it just doesn't matter. It's just adding. Then subtracting, then whatever, just little things. And if you can do this, then you can do this. Then next thing you know, you can do that. And you start going, I can do this math thing. Okay, it's the little things. So remember, in our minds, we're going to get these little things going, and once you get that feel, you got to put those pictures together. It's what advertisers do. Oh, does that make him feel that way? Well, does that make you feel that way? So you put it together. Does that make you feel that way? Okay, if you put it together, start getting that picture. Okay. Then the next thing you know, boom, you're ready to do it. So first, get it so you feel like you're ready to put on your shoes, to step out the door, to take the first few steps of running. Okay, you can stop after 10 steps, then run to the end of the block, or whatever you do. These are steps in a movie. If you look at a movie, it's cut, 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 cut. Then they put the whole movie together. So guess what we're going to do? Cut, 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 put the whole movie together. Then step number 3, you're going to actually, in reality, go out and try some of those things. Okay, that's what they're playing around with. Then you're going to practice them a little bit, putting them together a little bit. Then you're going to get really good at it. You go, man, this is great. And that's just become who you are. Someone who naturally, I love to run so much. I got to run, so you naturally stay fit. Okay, and there's no stopping of the force. Okay, force is you've got to really get away from force. If you feel force at all, stop, get back, get the movie going until you feel like, I can do this. I can really enjoy these steps, and get those steps working. You got to get those internal drives working. Okay, advertisers, the best trainers in the world. That's how they get paid, by moving product, getting you wanting to do it, enjoying doing it, and willing to put out the effort, the money, whatever it took to get at those things. So take advice from them. Take it hundreds of pictures till you finally go, I want that. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to put on those shoes. I want to step out that door. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait till I put on those shoes, step out the door, and take those. Oh, it's gonna feel so good. I mean, you gotta really get that. First step is knowledge. You know what you have to do. You have to go running. Step number 2, you got to get yourself to want to do it. Step number 3, you're going to play around with it. Step number 4, you're going to practice it. And step number 5, you're going to find yourself, man, I just love doing this. Man, I can't stop. Okay, so those are the steps. Training a human is so easy. If you start seeing force, you got to understand that the pictures in your mind are of things that you don't like. You got to erase those pictures, step back, take it slow down, recreate, and develop. Okay, what can I do to get myself to like that step? And most of the time, we've blown them so out of proportion. I mean, you've got to look at putting on shoes. Come on now. And now if you can put a little fun into it, a little trick into it to make it so, this feels good, takes me to a run, takes me to feel, and kick me with the right stuff. Step by step, you're going to take all those steps, pretty soon put together the movie, and you're going to have a movie that just is amazing, getting you where you want to go. Training a human is so easy, and it's so much fun. I mean, it's movie time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so get to your movie, put it together, and have a great new year. Okay, 2022, make it your best. Enjoy the movies that you create, and then take them out to reality and make them real. Hi, this is Pat Connor from Vicodin University, training humans to train themselves.